Round of applause, Mervyn!
You know, there's so many talented musicians here tonight. I wish I could play an instrument or sing, but I'd like to tonight remember one of the greatest Irish poets of the 20th century. Died 4 years ago at the end of August, Seamus Heaney. Seamus Heaney was born in the same town as myself in South Derry. He wrote for 40 years, he was a Nobel laureate. And I spent 40 years trying to write, and it took me that long to read, to find my voice. So I'd like to read some of his and some of my stuff. We'll start with the scene is South Derry, early 40s, farm environment. This one's called Mossbawn Sunlight. It's about a mother or an aunt baking scones in the farmhouse kitchen. Some say it's a mother thinking about her unborn child. It's called Mossbawn Sunlight. There was a sunlit absence. The helmeted pump in the yard heated its iron. Water honeyed in a slung bucket. Water honeyed in a slung bucket. And I forgot the next bit, but shit. And the sun stood like a griddle cooling against the wall of each long afternoon. So her hands scuffle over the bakeboard. The reddening stove sent its plaque of heat against her, where she stood in a flowery apron by the window. Now she dusts the van with the purser's wing. Now sits broad-lapped with whitened nails and measling shins. Here is the space again, the scorn rising to the tick of 2 clocks. And here is love, like a tin smith's scoop, sunk past its meal in the meal bin. This one's taken from the book Derry Boy, A Childhood in Pictures and Poems. It takes place in the hayfields in South Derry at this time of year. It's called Harvest Home. We laid her back against the stack, wiped sweat and hay seeds from her brow, cap cocked to shield the sun, thirst slain in the billy cans. We squinted at swallows in their drunken dives, with no rhyme, nor reason, nor root to roost. Our limbs tired and toil those fields to sunset, where stacks and smaller gave birth the bigger ones. The day the baler came, with reverence we accepted its offspring into our blistered hands, and nursed that harvest home with many a shout, watch out, as one bale tumbled from the trailer into the pressure cooker barn. And we built castles that summer eve, tight to the tin high heaven roof. Castles for cattle, whose winter weary days were bunged up in dunged up silent byres. And they would chew the cud, and suck the summer dew. When winter froze the ground, and we were boys in the spring of our lives. Poetry involves a bearing of a soul. This one is the author comes home from boarding school to find out news that his younger brother was killed in a road accident. It's a very famous Heaney piece. It's used in the GCSE poetry English curriculum. It's called Midterm Break. I sat all morning in the college sick bay, counting bells, nailing classes to a close. At 2 o'clock, our neighbours drove me home. In the porch I met my father crying. He'd always handled funerals, big Jim Evans saying it was a hard blow. The baby cooed and laughed and knocked the pram when I came in. And I was embarrassed by old men standing up to shake me by the hand and tell me they were sorry for my trouble. Whispers informed strangers I was the eldest away at school. As my mother held her hand in mine and coughed out angry tearless sighs. At 10 o'clock the ambulance arrived with the corpse, staunched and bandaged by the nurses. Next morning I went up to the room, snowdrops and candles soothed the bedside. I saw him for the first time in weeks, paler now, wearing a poppy bruise on his left temple. He lay in a portrait box as in his cot. No gaudy scars. The bumper knocked him clear. A 4-foot box. A foot for every year. My own loss was my favourite aunt. The year was 1970. I was 17. I knew nothing about life. And I knew less about death. It's called Aunt Martha. We came down the lane, stones spitting sideways, past whitewashed pillars wishing us here, squat stone-walled dikes cradling cattle and suspicious sheep. Where once was green and full of life and farmyard sounds and smells, all black became, all grief. All thoughts of her. Who? Andy? Did no one think to tell me? Did no one think I needed to know? No, no, I screamed in the room where no one spoke. Andy, who caught us spitting in the midden, said, "Where did you boys learn that?" Andy, who dusted soda falls with the feathered wing of a long dead goose. Andy, who smoked and shook the walls when racked with cough. Who sat with the butcher Hugh. We called him Uncle, in his white van, all cool and red and quiet like meat on a counter ready to be bought. Who sat by the fireside and talked as Sunday slept. All blessings said, all goodbyes gone. We turned around, back down the lane, past the pillars, cut chewing cows, and I wondered where the sheep had gone. I'll finish off with an Irish blessing and a poem by one of the great Irish writers. This was the last gift my mum gave to me. It was a thing I've got up on the kitchen wall above the toaster. It's called an Irish blessing. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and the rains fall soft upon your fields. Until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. William Butler Yeats was before Peony, but this is one's called When You Were Old. When you were old and grey and full of sleep and nodding by the fire, take down this book and read and slowly read to flip soft look your eyes at once. How many people loved your moments of glad grace and loved your beauty with love false or true? But one man loved the soul in you and loved the change of your sorrowing face. And leaning down beside the glowing bars, murmur a little softly, how love fled, and paced among the mountains overhead, and hid his face among a crowd of stars. Thank you.